what are your thoughts on making AI trustworthy? Is it possible?
Uh, yes, I think it's possible. It also depends on how you define trustworthy. If you mean perfect, okay, that's a tall order. We talked about that, right? I think, look, all of these AI algorithms and generative AI algorithms, they're all at the end of the day statistical in nature. You ask ChatGPT or, like I said, any other model, Claude or whatever, a question, it will give you an answer. It's never going to say, I have no idea, I give up, right? It will definitely give you an answer. The question is whether it's, quote, the right answer, right? And so, what you have to keep in mind is it's always making its best guess at what the answer is, always. And it's making that guess based on the data that you provided it. And what is actually almost completely magical to me is if you watch sort of anything do text responses, all it's doing behind the scenes, and I programmed neural networks long ago in my undergrad days, all it's doing is predicting the very next word. Like if you type happy, okay, the next word is likely to be birthday, right? And it's guessing and it's saying birthday. And if you ever watch ChatGPT respond, it looks like a typewriter, like typing across the screen, right? And it's all it's doing is predicting the very next word. Of course, it's using a huge amount of information to try to predict that next word, like your last several conversations, whatever it knows about you, the world going on today, whatever. It uses lots of input, but at the end of the day, that's the only thing it's doing is predicting the very next word. And the fact that it's able to spit out coherent paragraphs and everything else is honestly magical to me, right? But is it trustworthy? Look, it's as trustworthy as the data it was trained on. You give it a bunch of biased data, it's going to give you biased answers, all right? And you give it incomplete data, it's going to take its best guess. Is it going to be wrong? Yeah, okay, it might be wrong, right? And if you don't have the critical thinking skills, you won't notice it's wrong, right? Like there's many examples on the internet of ChatGPT getting basic math things wrong, like add these numbers together. I mean, maybe not that simple, but it gets it wrong. And if you don't know any better, you're like, okay, looks good to me, right? And so, so I think, is it trustworthy? Yes. Can it be hacked? Yes. Okay. There's a whole area of like prompt engineering and whatever else going on, and people injecting, bad things to data to lead you down the wrong path. So that's evolving. The security side of the world is also evolving. Um, Data access is also an issue. Like, should everybody be allowed to see all data? Okay, probably not. Like in the healthcare world, certain people, like let's say the clinicians, can see your full medical record. Is anybody in the company allowed to look up Pamela's blood pressure? Like, I don't know. Should they be able to? Maybe not, right? And so, how do you control, who sees what when you had sort of straight databases and say, okay, you're allowed to see these tables, not these tables. Great. Now you've got this little prompt that says, ask any question you want. What is Pamela's blood pressure? How does it know? No to okay, don't look over here, just look over here, right? It's a little harder of a problem. So the problems continue to evolve, honestly, as the technology evolves. Regulation is, of course, trying to step in, but regulation is always behind technology, and so uh, interesting times, right? That we're all living in.